Did President Trump just admit that maybe he's gone too far when it comes to his aggressive ICE and immigration raids?
You know, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not. And you know what's going to happen and what is happening? They get rid of some of the people because, you go into a farm and you look and people they've been there for 20, 25 years and they've worked great and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else. And then you're supposed to throw them out. And you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else.
I have been struggling on how to say this. And I made a video earlier. I took it down. But y'all are focusing on the wrong people. Y'all are focusing on why don't black people care what Trump is doing? We do. But we're focusing on us and ourselves to survive through this. What y'all need to be focused on instead of, well, why aren't black people actively protesting and doing all the things that they usually do? One, because we told you we're not going to do that anymore. Okay? We told you. Y'all didn't listen. Two, because we can't help you as much as the people you need to help you. Okay? You need white people. You're focusing on black people, you need to focus on white people. You need to get their attention, their compassion, their empathy, their social and political power. You're focused on the wrong people. You're focused on the wrong demographic. Black people don't make up the vast majority of this country. We don't make up the vast majority of politicians. We are not in the White House. I'm telling you. You need to focus on white people and getting them to actively care and campaign and protest in your name, in your favor, and leave black people alone.
Guys, this year has been really insane. Especially it has been for the Latinos for Trump and also the white people who actually did vote for Donald Trump. It has been a year for the black Americans to sit back and just see how the other people made the mistakes and how they are facing the consequences. And it's funny how they had told these people that do not vote this administration because such things will happen. But no one listened to them because they took the black people for a ride. And this is true to a certain extent because now most of the black Americans don't want to involve themselves, especially in these protests that are happening because of ICE raids. They did their part. They voted in Kamala Harris, their favorite candidate who was to stand with what they wanted, with what they knew was gonna be done. But these other people, they did not listen. And what I'm wondering, and very interesting take for me is that why are these people always crying that they want also the blacks to join them in the protest? Why not request other communities like, the Arabs, the Asians? Why not involve these other communities? Why the blacks? Do you want to use them as human shields or as scapegoats? They will just say that these are the usual suspects and let us arrest them or let us discriminate them thereafter. And it seems like black people right now have noticed this behavior and are not with it anymore. Also, it's funny how Donald Trump seems to have realized that deporting migrants or illegal immigrants, regardless of checking their background, is hurting the American economy, and that's coming up. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Danny, and today we're going to deal with how white Americans and Latinos are now realizing that black people knew all along about Donald Trump and his plans. Before I even come up with more commentary, let's listen to what netizens have and then I'll come in thereafter. Let's go.
Well, that shit that happened at Fort Bragg yesterday was absolutely insane. You had Trump up there having the Marines boo the former president, and you had Pete Hegseth up there talking about woke BS and shit. I mean, politicizing the military is like so low. It's even hard to put into words. And then look at this shit that they had the commanders do. I'm gonna show you real quick. I mean, look at this shit. Soldiers that have political views that are in opposition to the current administration and don't want to be in the audience, they need to speak with their leadership and get swapped out. They were literally not allowing soldiers with a different viewpoint than Donald Trump to be in the audience to watch him speak. This is dictator bullshit. This should scare people more than anything else that's happening right now. Everything else is really bad. This shit right here, politicizing the military, should scare the ever-living out out of all of us.
I will never let a Republican speak to me about freedom of speech or the Second Amendment ever the again. Because where were you? Where were you when they militarized the police against states' rights? Against the governor, mayor, and police? All of them begging, please don't do that, and still militarizing the streets. And now where were you? At an open press conference with a sitting senator being detained after saying he was a sitting senator by asking a question. All of a sudden, you constitutionalists don't know how to read the same thing you've been touting for years. When the tables are turned, I hope we are ruthless to you.
Hey y'all, MAGA, Trumplicans, Republicans, whatever you call yourselves, tell me how Kamala wasn't right about everything. Look at what's going on and just admit that she was right, what Trump's gonna do. And here we are. I hate it, but here we are.
As a white person, as a black person, as anyone, how?
So I was going to put this as a comment, but you already have thousands of comments on there, and I didn't think you would probably see it. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and stitch this for other people who have the same thought process as you. It's not that black people don't see this as a problem. We know it's a problem. We know it's an issue. We're just tired. We told you. We told you, and not you as specifically you. We told you as the country what is going to happen. We knew this was going to happen, and people still voted him into office. You don't need to talk to black people and ask black people where we are and why we aren't doing anything and why we aren't standing up, because black people have always been standing up. Black women have always been standing up. We're the ones that show up and show out every single time. We're the ones that when people go out to a party, that was the latest conversation. When people go to a party, they don't feel comfortable with a group of people around unless they see black people there, black women around. They tell their children, if you're in trouble, to go find a big black man because they know that person's going to help and take care of them. We know. We are tired of carrying everyone on our backs. That is what's going on. We are not standing up in the streets and protesting this because why? You say in that video, what if your family members were one day gone and you couldn't do anything about it? It happens to us on a daily basis. On a daily basis, our family members are getting slaughtered by police for nothing. Because of a black man getting killed by police, the largest Black Lives Matter movement in history around the world occurred because of black people. This is happening because of your people. Your people voted for him. Look at those numbers for who showed up and voted for Trump. Hispanics for Trump, Latinas for Trump. Those are the people who voted for him. We did our part. That is why you aren't seeing us in the street. It's not that we don't lack empathy or compassion. It's that we are tired. We have been there, done that. You also talk about how you are being hunted down and treated like animals. Let's not forget the pan-Atlantic slave trade that happened with black people. And once we were released from slavery, we were then used as experimentation for medical advancements. We were treated like treated inhumane. We were treated like animals. That is why we are tired. And the generation of the people we have right now, like me talking, is because we are not our ancestors. We are not going to be repeating the exact same things that happened to us and allowing for you all to sit here and run us over. You guys did not do what you had to do to show up and show out and vote. I don't care. I don't know who you voted for. I don't care who you voted for. It's the Hispanic community as a whole. That's who you need to be talking to. You don't need to come over here and bring black people into it and why aren't black people and how could you not feel this way if you were white or black? Have empathy. Black people have empathy. We know, but we've been there and we're done that and we're tired. And so that's where we stand on this. And then on your first video, your part 1 video, you also said you just want to go back to how things were. You just wanted to go back to when there was peace. If you think that there was ever peace, that shows a privilege that you have. That is a privilege that you had as not being Black in America, because there was never peace for us. Never. We could never walk into any workspace and feel 100% comfortable. We can never just walk outside our houses and feel 100% comfortable. We don't know what's going on. I'm 34 years old. As a child, I'm taught, if you get pulled over by a police, if you see police trying to pull you over, don't just pull off to the side of the road. Pull into a parking lot, a gas station where it's well lit, because you don't know who's going to pull you over. You don't know what that police officer is going to do to you. You don't know what that person at work is going to do to you. That is what we deal with on a daily basis. So no, we have empathy. We understand, but we're not going to go parade in the street anymore, because that is somebody else's turn. And I hope that you hear what I'm saying and you take that in, and you go and you talk to your people. You talk to other people about it. You guys go out in the street and you protest to get him impeached and to turn all of these things over that are happening with ICE, because that's not our job anymore. We are done. We are tired. I hope and I wish you well, but it's not our job.
Well, this lady has just articulated all the points that I had in my mind, and she has done it so well. I was just wondering this to myself, like, is it the reason why, of course, Black people are the way they are, is that they do not have the full freedom they are supposed to have? If someone is being marginalized or is being stigmatized by the community and some privileges are stripped from them, they're most likely to behave in a certain way. Like, for instance, if you deny someone some amenities or some jobs or some opportunities and they have no other ways to survive, then it's gonna force them to try to have that opportunity by force. And that's mostly how so many crimes do come about, and they getting associated with Black folks. Hey yo, but that is just a simple minority that resort to violence in order to obtain some opportunities or some benefits. But majority of the Black population that just want to get things legitimately, they have to wait in the long run. They have to trust the process that do not even care about their existence, their qualifications, their capabilities or skills. It doesn't reward them the way it rewards the other races, and it just shows how systemic racism has just infiltrated the American system. And now it seems like one other race is suffering from the same systemic racism. They want to drag the already suffering community or race into their own matters. Black people or Black folks right now, they do not want to get engaged in such fights because it's not the fight. Now it's just the time for the Black community to sit back and just watch how these people will get themselves out of this mess, because again, it's not like they were dragged in it. It's them themselves that dragged themselves in this situation. They had the opportunity, they had the chance to vote for the right administration, but they did not. They just voted for someone who wanted to use them as a pedestal. Hey, didn't they release that song, I Will Vote for Donald Trump? And they danced to it. It was a hit. It was a tune. Everyone was dancing to it. The Black folks just sat there and just watched. For the whites, mostly farmers who are affected by it, and those who also lost their jobs due to Doge cutting off government spending, now they're regretting their choices. All of them seem to be asking the Black people for support in this protest. Black folks aren't having it. It really shows how Black people have matured emotionally, not just running into things that do not involve them. They'll figure it out on their own. Anyways guys, what do you think about this whole situation? Let me know in the comment section down there below. Do you think Black folks should be involved in this protest, especially during the ICE raids, and also those who want to impeach Trump want to go to the streets to voice their concerns? Do you think they should get involved? Do you think it directly affects them? Let me know in the comment section down there below. Also, don't forget to check the original creators. Their usernames have been embedded in the stitched videos as always. Go follow, like on TikTok, and for this channel, make sure you smash that huge thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you may not miss my next upload. And with that guys, let me meet you in the next video. Peace out.